We got some breaking news involving Steve Bannon, his criminal trial in state court for fraud and money laundering about the fake Build the Wall Foundation. It was going to trial in the first week of December, but we've got some new updates from the state court judge. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Let me cut to the chase. There's good news. This trial is still going on. It just was going to happen on the first week of December, but because the trial judge in state court, and that's an important distinction here, we're not in federal court. There's no Trump pardon coming. Bannon was already pardoned federally before a trial even started for the Build the Wall fraud. But that's not going to help him now because there's no what's called double jeopardy issue. And because he never was successfully prosecuted the first time, this is his first prosecution. So there's no double of anything. But we do have this judge that's presiding over it in the New York State Supreme Court, same court system that Donald Trump was convicted of his 34 felony count conviction, same prosecutor, the Manhattan DA that was successful twice against Donald Trump's companies. For crimes. They're the ones that are prosecuting Steve Bannon. That trial now is going to be in February. So that's okay. We can live until February. The reason for it, apparently, it's going to be moved to February the 25th, is that the judge allowed some additional new evidence that had not been previously provided over to the defense in the form, apparently, of some financial transactions involving Build the Wall, another not-for-profit, something on Bannon's American Express card that they late produced to the other side. And rather than have any argument that this material wasn't provided to the defense in a timely manner, judges will often cure any claim of prejudice, especially in a criminal context, by just giving the other side, in this case, the defense, more time. So she rolled it 60 days, a little bit more than 60 days, till the end of February. But that trial is going to start. And there is just a mountain of evidence against Bannon, including cooperating and testifying witnesses, I presume. You've got his co-founder of the Build the Wall Foundation, this phony foundation from 2016 that tried to make bank off of Donald Trump's threats to build up a wall. They never built a wall. All they did was build up their bank accounts. They said they were going to use all the money, 100% of the money, for building the wall. They used very little, no part of the wall was built. But money did go into the luxurious lifestyles of both the co-founder with Bannon and Bannon. That co-founder, who was a wounded war veteran, no less, is serving time in federal prison because of this very same allegations, I presume, that he will be compelled to testify against Steve Bannon, as will the records. I mean, this is pretty open and shut, pretty binary from a case presentation. This is not a complex fraud. They made promises to donors in New York and other places, that's why there's jurisdiction in New York, about what they were going to use the money for and what percentage of it was going to be used for that charity, 100%. And they didn't do that. So hence the fraud and the money laundering and making it look like you were using it for something when you weren't. And that is a crime that could put Bannon in jail for, between 5 and 15 years. I mean, the betting markets think that he's going to get at least a 5-year sentence, if not longer. I mean, he's not a one-time offender either when it comes to sentencing. He spent time in jail already, 4 months, on a conviction for contempt of Congress related to Steve Bannon's failure to testify to the Jan 6 committee and provide documents to the Jan 6 committee. So he's a there's a 2-count misdemeanor related to that he served time in jail for 4 months. And of course, even though he was pardoned, I think it'll come up in the report that he was federally investigated. And the only reason he wasn't prosecuted there is because he got a pardon, from Donald Trump. And that'll all go into sentencing. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. The first thing that has to happen, of course, is that a jury needs to convict. Now, let's talk about state court versus federal court. I've tried cases in New York State and federal court, so I can kind of give you my perspective in this courthouse. The jury pool in Manhattan, where this is going to pull from in state court, a little bit of some other counties, is pretty educated. It's going to be a lot of college, 2-year, 4-year, postgraduate college people in the box. And I think that's a very good thing for the prosecutors. We always, as trial lawyers, want smart, attentive, interested jurors. That's what we'd rather have every time. I tried a jury about 2 or 3 years ago in federal court, and that one, everyone on the jury panel, everyone, including the 2 alternates, had a college degree or a post-college degree. I had chief financial officers of companies. I had investment bankers, financial planners, people that worked in medicine, doctors, people who had doctorates. I mean, it was a very, that's sort of a Manhattan jury. That should scare the crap out of people like Donald Trump and Steve Bannon. It's time to break up with your trash can. No more stinky garbage or raccoon messes. And I just had a raccoon in our garage when I left the door open on garbage day. Lomi is your clean, eco-friendly partner. Lomi is as easy as pushing a button. It turns food waste into dirt in just hours. With the holidays around the corner, Lomi makes the perfect gift for anyone looking to go green. Lomi lets me turn my food scraps into dirt with the push of a button. It's a countertop electric composter that takes my waste and transforms it into nutrient-rich dirt in less than 4 hours. No more smelly trash bins. And it's so quiet, you barely notice it running. Since I got my Lomi, I'm taking out way less trash. I used to struggle with 5 full bags of trash every week. Now I'm down to just 2. Just last night after dinner, I tossed all the leftovers into Lomi, hit the button, and by morning, it was dirt instead of a smelly garbage bag. What I love most is how much waste I'm keeping out of the landfills. Less trash means less methane. And with Lomi, I'm turning that waste into nutrient-rich dirt that my plants absolutely love. It's so satisfying to know I'm doing my part for the environment without any extra effort. Of all my kitchen appliances, Lomi stands out as the one I appreciate most because it has led to a cleaner, more environmentally friendly lifestyle. It's even replaced my coffee maker as the appliance that makes me smile each morning. If you're ready to start making a positive environmental impact and make cleanup a breeze, Lomi is exactly what you need. Head over to lomi.com/legalaf and use promo code legalaf to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you go to lomi.com/legalaf and use promo code legalaf at checkout. Say goodbye to food waste and hello to a cleaner, greener kitchen with Lomi. And with the holidays coming up, Lomi makes the perfect gift for someone on your shopping list. Turn your food waste into dirt with the press of a button with Lomi. Use the code LegalAF to save $50 at lomi.com/legalaf. Let's just look at Trump's track record as the most recent comparator to what Steve Bannon can expect. These are 12 people juries. So 12, you have to get 12-0 in order to convict. Manhattan prosecutor went after Donald Trump's companies with 19 counts of tax fraud, business record fraud, and the like. And 19 convictions came back, 12-0 from a jury in Manhattan against Donald Trump's companies. 2 years later, 34-count felony conviction, 12-0 in front of a New York jury for Donald Trump in the Stormy Daniels hush money cover-up election interference case. That's the one that we're sentencing, has been postponed probably indefinitely. Same jury pool, same elite prosecutor's office with somebody that's equally unlikable like Steve Bannon. Now, I doubt Steve Bannon takes the stand. I just don't think that's not going to help him prove the case. I guess they make that decision towards the end of the case, and the jury is, of course, instructed that it can't be held against him, that everybody is presumed to be innocent, has the presumption of innocence all the way through trial, does not have to take the stand. Nothing can be taken as a negative inference by him not taking the stand. He gets all those benefits. I mean, that's why the judge is bending over backwards to give him the additional 3 months here, or 60 days to get ready for his trial. But once it gets started, is this Manhattan prosecutor, do they have the ability to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt, which is their burden? I believe so. Based on what we understand of the evidence and the testimony and the witnesses and the math. I mean, this is just simple math. and number counting and follow the money. Where'd the money come from? Donors. Where'd the money go? Not to build the wall. That's a very short opening statement. I'd love to give that opening statement or closing argument. And he's going to have to come up with all sorts of, well, it was the accountants and I thought more was being used. And yes, we said 100%, but that was hyperbole. We didn't really mean 100% of the money was going to be used, but we meant something else. And, all sorts of jibber jabber. But who's going to put on that defense if Steve Bannon doesn't take the stand? They're going to have to do it, what we call a defense through cross-examination, where you just cross-examine everybody and hope you can score some points that way. The FBI agents who looked at the numbers and the bank accounts and pieced it all together, try to poke holes in that. But I think that's what that's a very simple question for the jury. Did he lie in order to obtain the funds? And did the people, rely on it in order to donate it? There's going to be that aspect of it, based on the counts. Is there sufficient reliance? I guess they'll get a number of donors up there that said, yeah, they gave the money believing that there was 100%, they're victims, that there was 100% of the money was supposed to go to build the wall and not to, put Bannon on luxury yachts. That's the kind of thing we're going to watch at that trial, but we'll have to wait now till February. I'll keep an eye on all of it. There won't be a pardon here. The governor of New York is Democrat, always will be for the foreseeable future. And she or he is not going to pardon Bannon. He is going away for 5 years to a really terrible New York jail and prison, starting with Rikers Island, during this process. He's out currently. We know he's out there podcasting away. But he's going to go in, and all the statements that he's made on his podcast will just go in to sentencing, the failure to accept responsibility, the denial of his liability and his exposure, his criminality. It's all just kind of goes into the mix at the time of sentencing. So keep talking, Steve Bannon. It'll all go into the pot that determines how large of a sentence you're going to get. I'll continue to follow it on MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Join us on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our podcasts. We call it Legal AF for a reason. Now you know why. And then we decided before the election we need a channel devoted to law and politics in that intersection. So we created Legal AF. What else? We're creative. We know how to come up with titles for channels. Legal AF MTN in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. I'm over there. I'm curating that channel, doing a lot of the hot takes over there and analysis, but bringing over some amazing, great other people, prosecutors like Karen Freeman, Nick Nifolo, and Sean Wu, court accountability action. We've got exclusive programming like Unprecedented, a show I do about the Supreme Court with Dina Dahl. Come on over and help us build that pro-democracy channel from the ground up. Find out why 50,000 people joined since Election Day and 50 million people watch some version of Legal AF every month. I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.